Hello, everyone. Welcome to the archive. My name is Jason, the archivist adrift, and it's time for another project. And I decided to work on a project that John, otherwise known as JSSBrooklyn, who we all know as that moderator who helps all of us out on all our different channels. He's a blue wrench on a lot of live channels. He sent me a package of an item that he wanted me to look into fixing up, and last episode, I was kind of hesitant about working on anyone else's books, but John he's such a great guy. Very early on, he contacted me on Instagram when I first started kind of like making videos and whatnot, and you could just tell like he's just got a heart for people, and he was just like, you know what, don't worry about it, just have fun with this, no pressure. Just do what you can do, and he really kind of helped me get over, feeling like, man, I really don't know if I want to do this anymore. So I've already opened the package, so I know what book it is, but it's this Amazing Spider-Man. Got a little help me here. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 50, and man, classic book, classic. I actually have a copy of this. He's actually got another copy as well, a better copy himself. He also sent me a Deadpool to just to read, and I definitely don't have this in my collection anywhere. It looks like a Greg Land cover. So that's awesome of him. Thank you so much, John. I really, really appreciate this. So yeah, I can't say enough great things about John. And I just want to thank him for kind of pushing me to go ahead and work on this book. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. All right. So this book's got some pretty heavy damage. Oh man. Okay. It's got quite a bit of color loss, staining. We've got rusty staples. We've got like all kinds of weird water damage on the bottom here. Wow. The back is got lots of water standing on it. Spine does, standing along the top here. The cover's completely detached on the bottom here. At least the front cover. We've got water damage along these internal wraps as well. It was like kind of white. I think it's white mold even. Could be. And the staining goes all the way through, it looks like. So all of these wraps will have to be treated. Staples are rusty. So we have a little bit of attachment at the top here, but not much. So honestly, there's not, outside of removing more color, there's not much more I can, more damage I can do to this book. I could do a gel and gum slab situation with it, but because of what I suspect is white mold here, I think I want to get this in a papain and betaine bath. This is going to be tricky because it looks like the paper is pretty fragile here, as are the staples. I don't think it'll look quite as bad with those staples out. So, when you watch like the before and afters, just imagine what it would have looked like with rusty staples in. Okay, so, all right, let's remove the cover, set aside the internal wraps. So John wanted me to send this to CGC after I was done working on it. But in this condition, you know, even if I were to get it, you know, as good as I possibly could with minimal color loss, I don't see this being higher than, you know, a low 2 or probably something in the 1s maybe. I'm assuming in the 1s, 1.8 maybe at the very best. But I'm assuming maybe like a 1.5. So kind of prepping John's expectations. Okay, I have my betaine and papain solution here, and I'm going to hit this wrap with it, and hopefully I don't have color loss. I don't have a top sheet of Polytex on here. Okay, here's the rinse from that betaine and papain bath. So I'm going to do another bath with calcium hydroxide to deacidify the cover a bit. And the second rinse here is much lighter. Okay, so I did my cleaning of this cover wrap, but unfortunately I'm seeing what I believe to be quite a bit of mold staining, which I suspected, which is why I gave it a betaine bath to begin with. I've got to remove the staining, even if the mold itself has been more or less destroyed. So there's staining all around this back cover, on the bottom and the top here, even through the center. And there appears to be some staining towards the top here, near the back of Spider-Man's head, and along some of the label here, and there's even some white mold, it looks like, still along the edge. Although I did remove almost, I think, all the white mold that was along the bottom. On the back, I'm not worried about handling this because I'm certain that the mold is inert because of the baths, but there's some mold staining here as well. And then I still have some rust staining, like rust carbon in the top staple hole, and some rust migration, it looks like, down here as well. And that means that this cover's got to go under quite a bit more moisture, which I really don't want to do, but I don't really see a good way around it. I'm concerned about losing color. I've been very fortunate to not lose any more cover than is already missing on this cover. Okay, I'm going to attempt a bleach bath, and I just hope there's no issues with this. This is kind of something I'm a little nervous about, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and gelatin resize this because the bleach did quite a number to it, and it's really floppy. So since this cover, you know, had a mold issue, I added some sodium propionate to this sizing, which should act as a bit of an inhibitor from that happening again, hopefully. Okay, I've got the gelatin sizing on this now, and went ahead and pressed it flat, and you know, it looks really bad. It is what it is, though. Now I'm missing all this color here in the corner, a little bit up here. maybe just a little bit at the top and bottom. But I did my best, and I don't know if I could have done better. When this book had a lot of mold on it. I mean, not a lot, but enough. And so, in order to lift that mold out, I had to do something to this book. I had to hit it with the bath and all that kind of stuff. So, color was going to lift regardless. I'm just happy that, all things considered, it looks as good as it does. I'm not sure if John will see it that way, but like I said, I don't think I could have done better. The interior looks pretty good. I got this mismatched leaf cast here, but CGC doesn't look at that when they grade these books. They don't care about the color, but at least it's patched up. I'm going to set this to the side for now, and I'm going to start working on the inner wraps. And just to kind of prove my point about what I had to deal with on the cover, these inner wraps are really bad as well. So right in this area where I lost all that color, you can see that how deep the water stain went down. So I was bound to lose color regardless. There wasn't a whole lot I could do, especially since I had to do multiple baths. If I only had to do one bath, I probably could have gotten away with it, but having to do that bleach bath right on top of it, there was just no getting away from losing color. And I think I see some white fungus up here as well. So I'm gonna have to be careful treating that. But it's the same stuff I saw on the cover as well, and I got most of that off. Okay, I worked on these two wraps off camera, mainly because I just want to kind of like concentrate on what I was doing here before I moved on to the other wraps. So I'll film those other wraps in a little bit more detail. These wraps had a little bit of mold on them and a lot of what appear to be like rust stains and a lot of dirt. Okay, I think what I'm going to do next is hit this up with some methacellulose to kind of help resize it even more. And then I might throw this on just some blue light. Just a little bit. Okay, this wrap cleaned up pretty nice. Here's a wrap I haven't washed yet, and you can tell the massive difference between the two. Got a lot of that dirt out of there, and then I think it looks a lot better having lightened it up a little bit. So it went from, tan pages to maybe off-white. All right. So I scraped up the staple hole a little bit here because there was still a little bit of a rust residue. I'm not sure if it was carbon or what it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and leaf cast this in, and then there's a tear here that I'm gonna fix with some tear seals. Okay, so I have a new press, well, a new old press. My last press was a cheap Vivor press, which lasted me for about a year and a half, but then stopped powering on. So I got this old seal press, which is a commercial press for pressing matte frames. And this thing probably came out either in late 70s or early 80s. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. The only problem is that the temperature gauge here is stuck. It doesn't work, but when I checked it with a heat gun, it looked like the temp that I put the dial on is pretty close. So this ASM 50 was the first book that I tested this out with. So let's see how it turned out. Okay, I pulled it out of the press a little early. I just wanted to make sure it looked fine. It'll probably go back in for a little bit just to make sure it lays flat. Like I said, there's nothing I could do about the color loss. You know, it's worse than when I got it, but I'm not that disappointed about it, oddly enough. And mainly because I knew in order to get out all the deep mold stains, I had to do something. I had to wash this, and I knew that washing it meant that I was just necessarily going to lose color. So I mainly lost color in this corner here, and the areas that had already lost color, you just got deeper losses. So the edges here, the bottom, the top, but I actually gained some color back along the title and a couple other places, maybe along the box here. And that's where a lot of the white mold was sitting. There was some dark black mold that was kind of hidden within some of the darker reds, and that's gone now. So I am happy about that. This is a pretty beat book, but I did everything I could to fix this up, and I let JSSBrooklyn know that, John, and I hope he understands. I think he will. I'll of course have the before and after pictures, and the cover is going to look pretty brutal, just to be prepared, but the back cover is much improved. There was all kinds of water staining and mold and rust and all kinds of nasty stuff going on back here, and that's all cleaned up now. I did a little lightening to the wraps, as well as cleaning them up, so they look cleaner and a little bit brighter. There's the money shot right there. Here's the centerfold, and the previous staples were completely rusted to smithereens pretty much, and this looks much cleaner, much nicer. So I'm happy with that. I did leaf cast the centerfold, but it's really hard to tell. The leaf cast looks really good, and the staples cover up a lot of the remaining stain. And there's the back page. I'm really happy with how this came out. I know that I did everything in my power to get this as clean as possible, and I got all the mold out of it, and I did everything I could. It would be hard pressed for anyone to, I think, do better than I was able to do. So I'm sure someone out there may have been able to, but like I said, I did everything I knew how to do. So I'm not too disappointed with how this looks. John does want me to send this to CGC to get graded, and I may try to talk him out of that, mainly because even though this came to me at what was very likely a 0.5, I can't imagine it getting higher than like a 1.5 conserved, or I would be thrilled if it got anything higher than that. There's just so much damage to the front cover, and there's a lot going on here. So I don't know. If it was my book, I probably wouldn't bother with it. But it's his book, and if that's what he wants, then I'll definitely do that. So anyhow, I think that wraps this up. Onward to the next book. Well, I've got a little bit of an afterwards on this project. Um, I talked to John. He really wanted me to send this into CGC, and I just wanted to talk to him and kind of talk him out of that, especially with all the color loss. I just wanted to express my concern that he might be wasting a little bit of his money if he did so. And he agreed with me, and he was like, "Yeah, I essentially trust your judgment, and so don't worry about that. But I want to give this book to you to study and to learn from." And that really took me aback. I was not expecting that at all. I actually, yeah, I don't know what to say. I put a lot into this book, and I'm actually, as beat as it looks, I'm really, really proud of this. And for him to just give it to me, that's unbelievable, unbelievable. Uh, Thank you, John. I'm really, really humbled. And uh, that is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much.